Hey guys, this is Coach Sean with Blackwells Baseball, and today we have a special guest, Jace Maynard. So Jace is my nephew. He's been playing baseball his whole life, and he has a pretty unique story that I think you guys will like. So first off, Jace, how's it going?
It's going good. Busy life. A lot of baseball going on right now. Just preparing for the season, fall season coming up. Just been getting ready, prepping myself.
Okay. And where are you going to college right now?
At Dallas College, Mountain View. D3 JUCO. Dallas, obviously.
Okay. And Jace is in his sophomore year. So Jace is from Dickinson, Texas. And how long did you play high school baseball? Let's go
Uh,
ahead and jump into that.
I played high school baseball for a single season. So 4 months out of the year. Yeah. Didn't play my freshman through junior year of college at all. Didn't even touch a baseball for 4 years. So, yeah.
And so how did that look like prior to high school? You played from since you were born, basically, right?
Yeah, I played baseball since the day I was born. I picked up a baseball. Was always around it with you and just with everyone. It's just what I did ever since I was a kid, and just ran with it and went on and went throughout life. And then about seventh, eighth grade year of my life, had a lot going on just in general. Got really into video games at the time, and then just kind of started falling out of love with baseball at the time. Stopped playing less and less. Still played a little bit. Still went to practices, but it almost just felt like I was just doing it, kind of like forced upon me. Didn't know what else to do because I did it my whole life, but then I didn't have a different direction. So I was, kind of just out of love for the game, kind of lost, and started to play video games a lot more, kind of just isolate myself. And then it was like eighth grade year going into freshman year. Couldn't try out for the team my freshman year, eighth grade freshman year, like Mickey Mantle ball. So I
Which
after that,
is summer, correct?
yeah, summer ball going into my freshman year, couldn't try out for the team. Um, and I that was kind of the dagger for me. After that happened, I was just kind of shot. Didn't really want to play baseball anymore. I told my dad, um, and he didn't want me to quit, but I ended up just kind of forcing it upon everything, and just ended up quitting. So I didn't touch a baseball from eighth grade summer all the way until junior year summer. Completely stopped.
Now let me cut you off. All right. So my question is, do you think that was just kind of life circumstances why you fell out of love with baseball, or do you think it was more? Do you think it was kind of a burnout, or just kind of what you were going
Uh,
through in life?
I think it was a mixture of both. I mean, like I said, I touched the baseball since the day I was born.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I played the
You
game
got
every
it. You
day.
got in club baseball
Young,
really young. Like I remember you doing.
seven
Remember you
years.
doing t-ball, which hilarious story, and I always tell it to everyone when I talk to them about you. First at bat, right-handed. Second at
Yeah,
bat, left-handed.
yeah,
Right, left for your first game. And it was
yeah.
just kind of like no one told you to do it. You just did it on
Just
your
did
own
it. Yeah,
because
yeah,
you were very ambidextrous.
yeah.
And for those listening, now he throws a baseball left-handed. Throws a football much better right-handed,
I've been working on it.
which is
I
hilarious.
can do it with the left hand.
But yeah, you. So how old were you when you started playing club ball?
I want to say it's like right around kid pitch, little league. I left little league, so I want to say like 7U, 8U. So
Okay,
7, 8 years old, probably very young in club ball,
and then
very
from
very
there,
young.
it was almost year round, right?
Yeah, year round from there. I didn't take a season off. It was summer, fall, winter ball. It was, yeah. I didn't take a season off. it was just go, go, go. And yeah, I definitely was a part of it. Got burnt out throughout my years. And then all that, like I said, that mixture with a bunch of just life stuff going on that happened. And then it was like, just decided I'd call it quits. And that was kind of it from there.
And then so then we fast forward to COVID year. So
Yeah.
we're in 2019,
Yeah.
and at this point, baseball is non-existent. You heavy into video games. I mean, gamer. I remember coming in there. You had the chat going, the cameras, which I've never done a lot of the live streaming or anything.
Yeah.
Video games, just play video games. But you had the whole setup, multiple screens running, and so COVID hits, and then kind of what happens at that point.
COVID hits. Just still like super out of shape. Like probably like 5'9", 200 pounds. Like didn't hit my growth spurt yet. Very short. Very overweight, chubby kid. I'm sure you can put a picture up. But yeah, it was. I had my brother's roommate started going to the gym. He never really went to the gym either. Kind of same thing, gamer, but he wasn't as out of shape. But I just started going to the gym, something to do. And he just kind of like, yo, when are you gonna start going with me? And I put it off for a little while, and then he just kept inviting me. And eventually I just started going with him, and then it's kind of started falling in love with the aspect of working out and kind of just seeing your progress every day, jumping on that scale after a workout and being like, I'm down a couple pounds, just seeing progress, and then just steady started doing that for a year or two. And
because what year did you graduate high school? What year was it?
2022.
And so you played 21-22 of high, like that's when you started playing with your high school.
Started, yeah. So I
the fall.
The fall. I picked up a baseball in 21 of July, going into August when I came to see you in Lexington. First time I touched a baseball.
Yeah, that was a fun conversation. I remember you hit me up. You're like, because you were telling me about your progress working out.
Yeah.
And I would just, I mean, that alone, COVID hit. Most of us put on 20 to 50 pounds. Here you lost. How much did you lose in the first? What was the time frame?
Within 8 or 9 months, I lost like 60, 70 pounds. It was a large amount, and it was within a year. It was probably pretty unhealthy the way I went about it, but I managed to do it, and then after I lost my weight,
your calorie intake was very, very, very minimal,
very low. And, I tracked my calories back then, and I started at about like 2,200, so 2,200, and then I got all the way down to 1,500 a day, and that was with working out and a lot of activity. So it was very minimal.
Cardio and working out, a lot. So you're burning. You're in a very big calorie deficit.
Oh,
for sure. Which is why you lost the weight. Which is remarkable that you were able to do that. I remember too at the end. I was like, okay, dude, like we've lost enough weight. Let's start. Let's start focusing on the muscle. I remember there were several times we exchanged texts. I'm like, dude, okay, enough weight loss. You've done a great job. Let's start working out for some strength now.
I was so used to losing weight. I went from like I think it was 210, 215. I went all the way down to 145, 150. And I was so used to losing the weight. I didn't know anything different. I just kept doing my routine. And then I finally had you and even Chance and a couple other people were like, all right, you're getting too small now. Like your skin and bones now. We got to start putting on some muscle, actually lifting some weight. And
what are you currently at?
175, 180. I want to say more like 180 now. So
okay. And do you know what you were when you went back and started? 'Cause you started like fall ball, but you started very late, right? It was almost it was like December, right? When you started fall ball with them, or was it?
It wasn't August because I had we had to go through the whole situation, talking to coach and everything. So I think it was more like October. It was a couple months in. It wasn't New Year's, but it was a couple months in.
Shout out Coach Corbin for helping with that.
Absolutely.
He was a guy I played American Legion with. He was, I believe, a freshman in college when I was a freshman, and I mean he was a baller. But I reached out to him, and he kind of helped connect you with a coach and
Yeah.
got you, because it's very rare that for those that don't know, a guy not to play high school at all and then show up senior year and play and be able to contribute to the team, and not just kind of be a support cast that, in a sense, brings the team down. A lot of guys, if you're not playing high school ball up until your senior year, you almost hurt the team and take reps away from guys. But it's definitely not the case where you were at. You hit me up. I was in Lexington. You said, "Hey, dude, like, I've lost this weight. I feel good. I want to see what it's like to throw a ball again." You threw a couple times with Tavish, actually, at the park. I remember you sent me one of those videos. Just throw it into the fence.
Yeah.
And then you actually came out and saw me in Lexington, spent a week out there with me and threw. And, I mean, and you wanted my opinion kind of to see if you could play, if it was realistic. Because, again, 3.5, 4 years off that's a lot of time.
It's a large margin, and it's like it was my important years too. It wasn't just like a random. It was all of high school. It was It was like from the kid to growing up. I missed those important years.
Hindsight, though, I mean, you got to a place where you said, "Hey," and obviously other people helped you as well. But like, I'm not happy with where I'm at. I don't like this weight. I don't want to be here. And who knows? Maybe you played. Maybe you would have put on weight, but not gotten to there, and you wouldn't have made that radical change in your life. That's now allowing you to live a healthier life to this day. Regardless, like, take away the baseball, dude. I'm so happy for you. The fact that you were able to do that, and now you're going to live a healthier life and live a longer life. Because putting 100%. That weight on at those age. Like, the older you get, take it from me, like with my dad bod, like, it's harder to lose the weight the older you get. So the 100%. Fact you're able to do it so young, like that alone, like, is just absolutely remarkable. So play your senior year. You didn't really you got some playing time early on, especially later on. I don't think it was a lack of talent. I think it was a lack of not knowing. You were the senior that coach didn't know. He doesn't, he spent 4 years with those other guys. It's not, I don't even think it was necessarily playing favorites or anything. Just, coach didn't know you. He doesn't know how he can depend on you in crunch time. So going into the summer, I remember stressful times for you because you didn't know where you're going to go to college. You knew you wanted to play baseball. You're left-handed. You're tall now. Like, you have a chance to play college baseball. And so, talk to me about that, kind of a senior that wants to play college baseball and doesn't know where.
It was definitely a stressful time because I knew I had the skill. I knew it was definitely a learning curve. Like you said, I I played on a team, like you said, a senior coming in. You can't expect a lot of playing time. He was with those guys for 4 years. Now, I mean, I've said it to the guys on the team before, on that 2023 team, 2022 team. I mean, I played a decent amount for coming in and only playing a year and coach not knowing me. I ended up pitching our first district game. I played a decent amount, but, obviously not like enough, but it was a big learning curve. And then going in that summer, I didn't really know what I was doing. Didn't even know how to reach out to coaches. Kind of was it's like a lost cause. And, I talked to Sean about it, and I had an old coach, actually Sean's coach at the time, Coach Chuck McElroy. He ended up playing with him over the summer, and just kept playing. And as the summer went on, I the more I pitched, because the summer was really the first time I really got to pitch, and I got to lock down and actually learn and get the experience of playing a lot and using my arm a lot. And the more the summer went on, the more he just started to guide me, and then he got a couple of coaches to look at me, sent some videos out. And then, I went and saw coaches, and they like what they saw. So now I'm out here.
Yeah. And shout out Chuck. I mean, he, even in my time, I mean, I know because I don't know exactly how many years, but he's got 14 plus years in the big leagues. And, I know at my high school games with the scouts there, he would talk to them for me and on my behalf. And, So I knew you could trust him, and we could trust him as far as helping find you somewhere in college. And he has a big network of coaches, and so yeah, so he was able. In I think it was really cool you being able to play with him that during the summer, and you got to go deeper in games, pitch on a regular basis, like you said. So
Yeah.
now we go in your freshman year, and although high school you did play a lot, but in a sense, and I told you this, I think your freshman year was kind of your first full season.
Yeah, 100%.
And
Yeah.
you started off with a bang, dude. You
Yeah.
had a very you yeah you had a very good start to the season, and it
Yeah.
you hit a rough patch, which as you know from being my nephew and being along the ride with me, those stretches come, and it's about minimizing them and learning from them.
Yeah.
But what do you think you took away from your first year of college baseball, or even the fall, like getting ready? Um, what did you learn that you think maybe someone can learn from you?
Yeah, it's a lot different this time around. Going into my second year, there's a lot of things that I'm doing different. But yeah, like you said, my freshman year was kind of my first real year of baseball. My senior year of high school, it wasn't really a lot for me. But yeah, I went into my freshman year kind of with an open mind, just trying to keep my head down and work, and kind of just kept grinding it out. Started pitching on a regular basis. Coaches started like what they see, um, and then the springtime came around, and I was one of the main arms. Like you said, I started the year off amazing. Was one of the best arms on a team. Was giving quality innings, whether like I said, that was from the bullpen, whether that was a start. Um, just giving really good innings in any opportunity I had. And like you
And
said,
real quick, I want to stop there because I've been there too, where I've been a reliever starter. Actually, my last year in Lexington, reliever starter, reliever.
yeah,
Um, there was Spokane was another year when I spent the year in Spokane. I started off reliever, long relief, short relief. I spot started, became a starter for a stretch, and then I think I finished in the bullpen. Yeah, that was the year they dropped me down, and that was a terrible experiment. But so how tough is that not having a set routine? Because although as a reliever it's spontaneous, of course, and the higher you go, like once you get to the big leagues, you might pitch every game. You might go 10 days not pitching as a reliever based
yeah.
on how you're doing and the team's needs. But as a guy bouncing around from starter to reliever, how do you get a routine, or do you get a routine at all?
It was definitely tough. Wasn't much of a routine last year. Our games are Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Um, and yeah, there wasn't much of a routine because there was times where I would relieve on a Wednesday, and then I'm turning around, I'm relieving on that Friday. There was a week where I relieved on a Wednesday and I started on a Friday. On a Saturday. Um, so there really wasn't much of a routine. It was my main focus was taking care of myself, making sure I was as healthy as I could be, arm wise and just body wise, trying to take care of myself. Um,
Anything specific that you found that works for you that you like as far as the
yeah,
recovery aspect?
yeah. I obviously ran like after I threw and everything, but after every game that I pitched, I would go to the gym, and I had a routine, kind of just keeping my heart rate up. I like getting my like hitting chest, like a very light chest, kind of just get my blood flow in this upper area, um, and then a lot of just like band work, shoulder work, ropes, jump ropes, jumps, just stuff like that. Just keeping my heart rate up, and that was kind of what worked for me the best
Now,
last year.
is this same day you pitched or next day?
This was most of the time I say same night,
Okay.
and then next day was kind of a I knew obviously the next day or day two soreness always the worst. So I kind of just was treated to my body and see how it felt every day, and kind of took it as that. but I always try to get some type of lift or just cardio, anything, like I said, keep my heart rate up, kind of just keep it moving, and then get my arm back into the swing of things.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's
Also,
where
yeah, like just like a light
that's where
toss.
I think you kind of experienced a little bit of dead arm at the end of the season because it
Yeah.
was, the spontaneous throwing, not being in a routine. So you're not able to do all the things. And it's also, at that point, I think you're kind of just in recovery mode and trying to do whatever you can to be ready when there's no routine. And that's when it becomes very difficult. I know when I was in low A as a reliever, you don't get in for 2 days. You're like, okay, I'm pitching tomorrow. You don't pitch that day. And in this, I mean this by, so when you go out, you're going to throw. And so you don't pitch for 2 days. You don't long toss on day 3 because you think you're going to for sure go in. You don't go in. Now you're like, I'm going to go in for sure the next day. You don't long toss because you want to be 100%. And now all of a sudden, 1 to 2 days of no long toss turns into a whole week. And so our pitching coordinator, Danny Clark, really have a lot of respect for him. His role was, I think it was 2 days not going in, stretch it out on day 3 regardless. Obviously, you're in college, it's a little bit different. But, because you can't risk your development at being 100% for the game. So it's a fine line of getting your work in to get better and also trying to perform 100% when you get in the game. Because at the end of the day, if you don't perform 100%, you don't go on to play.
Exactly.
Like that's your livelihood of advancing to another college or making it to pro ball, or once you're in pro ball, moving up the ranks is how you perform in the game. But if you don't get better, it doesn't matter because you're not going to get that chance.
Exactly.
So I definitely think, and you got to listen to your body. You definitely have to listen to your body, and I think that was a good learning experience for you in your first year to kind of gauge what's soreness, what is pain, how do I make myself feel better, because everyone's individual, everyone they're themselves, and so you have to figure out what works for you. So right now, sophomore year, the summer, anything big you did during the summer to get ready for your sophomore year?
Nothing too big. Kind of just stayed in shape, kept throwing. For the first, I would say three-ish weeks, I didn't touch too much baseball. I really gave myself a break after that season. I think I threw like 1,300 pitches in a span of like 3 months, 4 months. So it was kind of shut down, let my body recover. So I kind of shut it down for a couple weeks.
Huge.
And then after that, kind of just got back into the gym, kept my body in shape, and then slowly, revamped throwing, reintroduced it, started throwing again. And kind of just kept working out. And then I came and saw you. We worked for a week on a bunch of stuff, and then kind of just got ready after that to come back and just kept my arm in shape, built it back up.
How long do you think you went of not throwing? Like if no throwing at all, even at low intent, how long do you think you went?
3, maybe 4 weeks of just no throwing. Probably three. I want to say 3 weeks of just no throwing at all.
Yeah, and I think that's huge. That's actually my, one of my things that I'm on right now, especially at the youth level. You play year round, so you never have time to recover, and your body's always in a state of just being stressed out. Your arm's constantly stressed out. So I think it's huge that you gave yourself that time to recover and then build it back up, because if your body's always stressed out, your arm's always pissed off at you because you're constantly going hard. You can't get under the hood and work on the car.
Exactly.
So now we're in the fall playing fall ball. You guys are playing games, right? Or no?
First game is on Monday. First game is on Monday and Tuesday. We actually have 2 doubleheaders each day, so long days ahead. But I just want to prepare myself. We just do a bunch of Inter squads. Inter squads like once or twice a week. Been on a throwing program Monday through Friday. And Saturday we've been inter squatting. Okay. So yeah, I kind of just been still building my arm back up. And like I said, giving that time off, that 3 weeks, 4 weeks after last season, not throwing a ball. I think that alone just made my arm stronger than it already was. And then came back this year, already throwing harder, already feeling stronger than I was last year. And then games coming up this Monday.
Okay. And so last thing, and then we'll let you go. Get back to your fun Friday. So for you, your sophomore year, you're at a 2-year school. Kind of what is the mindset, and kind of what are the concerns and stress about where you're going to play next year? You kind of not thinking about that right now? Is that on your mind? What's going on?
Trying not to think about it too much right now, to be honest. It's kind of tough. I definitely, there were some teammates last year, sophomores, that didn't really have a home. So, I mean, it's always in the back of your head, but like, I know it's a long way. We still got 4.5 months till spring season. So kind of just using these next 4 or 5 months to build myself up, get ready. And when that comes, it's just go time after that. Just go out there and perform every chance I get, and then go from there. It's kind of where my mind is.
Yeah, and I think that's huge. I kind of relate it to kind of two things. When I was in high school, I'd already committed to college, but then the stress of the pro scouts they got to me early on. I remember preseason game against Lufkin. They actually went on to win state that year. I went, God, it was something like it was a crazy stat. It was like 3 innings, like 6, 7 runs, and 9 Ks. Every out was a strikeout. Like it was insane, but every ball hit play was a double or like a bomb. Like it was insane. I remember just like, and there were some scouts in the stands, and I was just like, oh crap. Like and I got drafted out of high school and signed out of high school, but at the time I was just like, oh man, like I'm not going to play pro ball, which then I kind of like had a sat down and thought about it, and I was like, well, I know I'm going to play college, so don't worry about it. Let it play out. It's going to be what it's going to be, because at the end of the day, like, you can perform your worst, and someone might like you, and you might perform your best, and someone might not like what they saw. So exactly. Like, you can only control what you can control. And then, these kids in high school with colleges, same thing. Like, don't worry about it. Just play. Get better. For you also, I think your sophomore year is going to be huge, because you still have a lot of a development ahead of you, because your timetable started after everyone. So yeah. In a sense, like I kind of relate this as you're not a true sophomore. Yes, you're a sophomore, but as far as developmentally, like you still have a lot of room for growth than most sophomores do.
Yeah.
I know pro scouts, when they look at guys, a college guy being drafted, especially as a senior or a junior compared to a high school guy, how they look at it is that older guy, he's kind of where he is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Some of them get a little bit better, but you're developing a guy that you think is going to come in and have a chance to make it to the big leagues. The high school guy, he has a huge room for growth. You're kind of looking into the crystal ball, where you're still at that area where you have a lot of room for growth, because you missed a lot of baseball, which is actually really cool. Like you're a little bit older, you're more mature, you're able to take your workouts. I think the foundations that you set during the time of you losing weight, the work ethic that you learned and probably already had, but also that you learned during that time, like, is going to be crucial in your baseball career. And I think you have a long career ahead of you. I'm very proud of you for what you have accomplished already, but I definitely think you should have a lot of baseball ahead of you. For anyone listening that wants to follow you, what's the best way to connect with you?
Probably Instagram, Twitter. All the handles are the same. It's Jace Mayn, JaceMayn.
Okay. Do you still live stream any Twitch or no?
Not live streaming any Twitch currently.
Okay.
Haven't done it in a while, but thinking about doing it when the next Call of Duty comes out. Maybe a little bit here and there when I get some time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
With any of the guys on the team or what?
Yeah, my roommate actually he plays a lot too. Kind of same background as me, so
Okay.
we were thinking about starting it back up just a little bit when that comes around.
All right. Well, anything else for us?
I'm good.
All right, dude.
Good.
Well, hey, thank you very much for doing this with me, and good luck this season, dude.
All right, later.